Hey guys, it's Viewmasters Reactions, and we're back with Mighty Nine time on YouTube. We have episode 66, Beneath Bazzoxan. We just finished the Patreon hour, and the entire hour was us feather falling from the tree. That's how it started. After the live stream, we were feather falling. This 200-foot rock was soaring after us at rapid speed. I couldn't remember how big it was. I thought 100, and then I'm thinking, that sounds too big. It was 200 feet from tip to tip wingspan. The tree was 300 feet. So this rock is 2/3 of the size of the entire tree that we scaled. Mind you, it took us quite a while to scale the tree. So this bird is freaking enormous. We were attacked by a baby rock. Caleb multiple times had to turn into an eagle because he was attacked and kept turning back into Caleb. I feel like it happened at least once or twice. All I know is he had to use it 3 times. We ran out of 4th slot spells, 5th slot spells. Ford was completely tapped, couldn't even Misty Step out because of the fact that he had run out, I feel like, at some point. Oh no, I think he couldn't Thunder Step. He had to Misty Step. Either way, we used all our spells. Bo and Caleb went back to the top. We turned the rock into a bat. The bat kept breaking free, causing chaos, but we were able to keep the rock basically restrained for a full hour while Bo ransacked the nest. We went through about, I don't know, I'd say like 1/4 to 1/3 of the nest before the hour was about to run out. We got gold rings, we got pearl necklaces, we got hundreds of gold, 250 to be exact. Bo split it amongst the party. Then we fled. We were a good enough distance away, I'd say. Then the bat turned back into the rock. We left it under the tree. We took off with the moorbounders. We found a tunnel, a 50-foot long tunnel, 20-foot wide. We hid inside. The rock was flying around. We used Liamon's tiny hut to seal the entrance, and the rock flew around for like 10 minutes. We were good. Well, it flew around first. Then Liamon's hut sealed the deal. And then we opened the iron box because Bo also found an iron box in the nest. Not having drank heavily, didn't think twice about checking for bombs, and lo and behold, it is triggered. We're inside the hut, a bomb goes off, everyone sustained minimum 12, some might have halved the 12 as well, but there was at least 12 damage to most people, some double that, 24. We got a ring of protection, that was what was in the box. It was a ring of protection. The last thing we saw was Caleb goes, "Yo, Bo, this belongs to you because you're the one that did all the work." And Bo literally jabs Caleb, or Sam, I should say, unless it was a joke. Sam said that's the shoulder he just had surgery in. Obviously, Caleb didn't have surgery. So I'm assuming Liam in real life really just had surgery. And Marisha was like, jokingly jabbing him, but saying like, oh my God, Caleb is actually sharing stuff. And Caleb took it offensively, but they kind of were like joking back and forth. That's the relationship these guys have. But I thought Caleb wasn't necessarily sharing loot. Caleb was like, this is yours. Either way, though, that's where we ended it. I really didn't see much past that. I think we saw the jabbing, and I stopped right there because we were already over an hour. We only got about 20 minutes for the YouTube video, and we're going to have an extremely long live stream. It's going to be 2 hours and 35 minutes, I think, just in show, plus our talking and our ranting and our end stuff. So you're looking at upwards of probably a 3-hour live stream this coming Friday. I honestly wouldn't have picked a better time because I have off this week for Memorial Day weekend. I have to assume, based on the fact that every week we've been having hour 20-minute live streams and almost hitting 50 likes, that in the 2.5-hour live stream, we're likely to hit 50 likes. So it might even go into 4 hours at that point. If you guys want to see more of what I do, in the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see these in full, unedited, the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode, Vox Machina season 1 and 2, hundreds of other shows, Peaky Blinder, Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Avatar, Adventure Time, hundreds of shows. Check the link. If not, Campaign 2, episode 66, Mighty Nine time.
I'm just giving you
See, oh, I rewound it a little.
That's he just had surgery.
That's the shoulder he had surgery on.
2 points.
But she didn't like really pound him. She was kind of like air
Those
punching
are
him.
weapons.
Those are
literally
weapons.
charging
Those are
electricity
weapons,
and
yeah.
shit.
Sorry.
Your fists are deadly weapons. She is a
Caleb,
trained fighter.
could
Use some. Did you already get a ring? Where did we get that other ring?
Caleb already has a ring of
Already?
Got
protection.
it from Wako.
Waka.
Yeah, so you already have one on,
right?
Yeah, Caleb's
You can't
already
have
got a
more
ring
than
of
one.
protection.
You can have 2, I think.
have 2 rings.
One on each
Ah.
hand.
You could have one on each hand.
Even so.
Even so, it's. I honestly think it's Bo's more than anybody. Bo rolled through bird shit to get that ring.
Multiple rings, just, you know.
I'm
it's
joking about her
how many
jabbing
rings
him,
you
but
have
Bo
to-
deserves
What
it.
does it do? What's it plus to your AC?
+1 probably, right?
Plus 1 to your AC and I believe saving throws.
Give it to Yasha.
You already have one though, right?
I have
Yes,
something else.
Caleb
It
has
makes
one.
more sense
Oh.
for Yasha.
You have something else?
Well, I would love to wear it, but I can only concentrate on so many items at
Doesn't
once.
Caleb have? What does he have? I thought he had a ring of protection. He's.
Once I get
I
my
almost
bracers and everything.
feel like last episode alone he said I have a ring of. Maybe it's something that sounds similar.
Okay.
If you lose something, you can give it to somebody else, and then they can use the thing that you don't need anymore.
Yeah, what other things do you want to get rid of? I think she's saying if you have something you want to get rid of.
Yasha?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
All right.
Yeah. I'll just
Honestly, Bo deserves it, but Yasha probably could use it more.
that mean what I think.
Bo is such a powerhouse.
You can put it on.
I mean, it'd be great if she was more of a powerhouse. It's one of those things where I feel like, yeah,
Oh, that means marriage.
marriage. Bo just married Yasha. Bo just handed a ring to Yasha. We are
So you can
officially
go ahead and
married.
Add that to your character sheet if you want.
But
to
yeah,
put it
Bo,
in and
I'm,
add
hey,
protection.
I'm all about becoming more and more Diesel, a fighter.
All right, so
But
you
Bo
finish
is-
your short
Bo
rest.
is
you
like
spend your hit dice.
so-
it has been a very eventful.
I don't want to
morning.
say
We're now
unstoppable,
pushing
but
close to noon.
like pretty
from the time
freaking
you guys have
awesome
traveled
already.
up and down the tree.
Let's pass it around, help some
across
other
this,
people
you know,
out that need
10,
it. Yasha,
15-minute jump
Yasha
out
takes a
into the barn
beating
fields.
sometimes.
Enough
I mean,
time has passed where
she
you
does rage.
don't necessarily feel like you're immediately being bared down on by an angry rock.
You should. Caleb, can you send Frumpkin out and see if the bird is looking at us still?
Of course.
All right, Frumpkin's gonna do some recon, but I feel like the rock, it's so big. I feel like we'd have to hear it, even if it was trying to be quiet.
Perception check, you said, yeah?
Correct.
Like a
that's pretty
200-foot
good.
bird? How
go
quiet
to
can you be?
Vulture. That's
And you're a
tiny.
bird.
That's the wrong one. Oh, Jesus. I'm just going to make it a straight roll. 16.
16. Okay, I'll say, because of the creature's size, it is visible.
But really far
Pumpkin
away.
does see it. It is way off and has no scope of what distance, but it is quite a ways
Far
away.
enough.
Anywhere between 50, 60 miles
All
away.
right, 50 to 60 miles away, and is
Possibly 20
still
miles away.
possibly
Possibly
20.
10.
Oh.
It's hard to tell at this distance with the size
All right,
of
it could be anywhere from 10
but
to
it's still
60 miles
looking-
away. But
it's
the
definitely
fact that at 60
still
miles you could
present and
probably
hasn't
see it
given
is
up. It's
scary.
just in a different direction for now. So
It's out in the distance. Can't tell quite
That
how
makes
much,
sense,
but,
though.
We need to go carefully if we
You
are
can
going to
see
go.
the New York
Perhaps we
skyline
wait till the night.
from where I live,
we're
and I
losing this
live like
fellow.
35,
Hold on,
40
he's
minutes
getting
from the
away.
building.
We
You
need
could
to
say
move. We gotta
easily.
go.
Like if you go, there's a place called Washington Rock by where I live. If you go up there, you can literally see the New York skyline, and those buildings,
Let's
they
go.
got to be at least 50,
all
60
right,
miles
you all go
away.
down any more bounders.
And you can
Exit
see
the
them
back
clearly
side
in a
of the
nice
small
day.
kind of
And they're
two-way
probably
cavern.
in the morning,
We'll start
daylight,
heading northward.
nice bright skies.
Once more. As you're riding
But that's
past
horrifying.
the little
If I looked
puddles
off
and ponds
Washington
of
Rock and saw a
remaining
200-foot
rainwater that haven't
bird
quite fully absorbed into the
60
hard
miles in
packed
the
earth,
distance, I'd shit myself.
you start making your way for the remainder of the day forward. Yes.
Out where we are, is there any of that grass on the ground that was appearing nearer the tree?
Where you are now? Absolutely not.
Okay. The wastelands.
Yeah, pretty much about 100 feet out from the tree is the extent of where any of that seems to grow, and that's only when night falls. It seems.
See, in the last
when
live
when
stream,
you first arrived at the tree,
Ford
and
was
when you left the tree,
cocooned
it was all
into a
beginning to die
protective
away.
state
It seems
by
like about 10 to 15 feet from its
I'm
base.
wondering
is
if that
always
was relevant to
there.
the tree. Like, is
And then
Ford
further
no
out,
longer?
it seems to extend in the night and then retract in the day.
Like Ford, I don't know.
Cruising on.
I was thinking the grass
Are
of
you
the tree
going
had something to do with
fast-paced?
Ford's protection. So let's find out. We're gonna
slow to
know
start,
it eventually.
And then like medium.
Because
15
Matt was
minutes
saying
after, we'll
Ford felt
speed up a
warmer,
little, and then
less
okay.
cold. The water wasn't like
Enough that
washing
we don't
over
get
him
jumped by
feeling.
those things again because
know.
we're going too fast. We need to keep an eye out of other monsters.
And eye on the sky. There's a lot to
Perception check
cover.
from you as you're taking point on this again, Caduceus.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Go on.
11.
11.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys are cruising forward,
Tells
making
us,
your way.
Hey,
You go around this
not
one
the
section
worst.
where there's like
We've
a
been rolling
crevasse that
nines
begins
and
to, like,
lower
dig
big
down.
time.
Not like a super deep crevasse, but there's like a point where the ground begins to kind of slowly sink between two cliff walls of this small valley, maybe about 20, 30 feet across, Do you guys want to crest on the upper edge, or go through, or on the other side? What would you like to do?
Through.
I'm no tactician, but it feels like not down in the middle,
sorry.
right? Because
Yeah.
that's
I
ambush
was like, I'm
point.
just gonna
Go
say
around.
Okay. Right or left?
Ford's been rubbing
pollen
off
is
on
bad
me,
in the
but,
daytime.
Where's the sun?
The sun right now, it's moved past the zenith, so it's about, I'd say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's starting to push its way a little bit this way in the sky. The clouds, there are still clouds.
I don't even want to
present,
blow
but
my
they're starting to
nose,
break up a
because
little
usually
bit.
when
You
I
have
blow my
little
nose,
glimpses
that'll
of blue
sneeze
sky,
13
and
more
the day is
times.
getting hotter.
I feel like if I just leave it be,
So
I'll be all right.
I'd say the left, personally.
Me too. I was gonna say that too.
Look at that. That's an unanimous.
All right,
It's
you cruise to the
unanimous.
left.
All right, cruise to the left. We all die instantly. It's like a choose your own
So
adventure.
you move to the left.
Which way do you go?
As you
Dead.
come around the edge and kind of crest up at the top there, you can see there are a couple of small huts and a tent set up there.
What?
Immediately you hear
Uh-oh. Someone has alerted
and
our
a
presence.
cluster of
Orc
orc
marauders.
marauders start rushing in your direction and getting arrows ready.
Oh my god.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, for God's sakes. Yasha
Rushing
was
on foot.
joking.
You're,
I love that she
they're
goes,
rushing
we're all
on stop
dead.
they're
And we
starting to- as you're,
literally.
like, cruising by. They're now like starting to pass you on the right.
Fucking cavalry right through.
Just go.
Yeah, just go.
All right, you
I
guys
would just
pick
book
up,
it.
Moorbounders pick up pace. You're rushing forward. 4 of them do get arrow shots at the Moorbounders.
Ooh, 4 arrow shots.
That is going to be
Oh, we might get thrown from our
2
moorbounders
hits
again.
on your Moorbounder.
Are orcs considered
Yannick?
humanoid?
Yeah.
Yes, they are. That's a critical hit
Oh,
on Jesters.
Yarnwall.
Oh.
Undone.
Oh yeah.
Undone, and then all 4 hit because Moorbounders do not have
All
a huge
4
armor class.
hit.
So 2 hits on
Caduceus
yours, 'cause you were
nullifies
in front, and
the
then 1 on
crit.
each of your Moorbounders.
God.
So Caduceus
So,
at least nullifies the
two-
crit, but we might get
Deflect the one
thrown
that's-
from our
It wasn't
moorbounders.
Hitting Yannick?
unfortunately at you. It's kind of like you'd have to like mark out of the way. You know what? It's fun. Make an acrobatics check. It's going to be difficult to do
have to
this,
lean
so
out
you have to
that
roll.
side.
High
Yeah.
roll.
Real high
Bo
try.
can. Bo is the one to
Just
do
watched
it.
John Wick 3.
John Wick
And
3.
He said that it was possible. Acrobatics?
And he said it was possible.
21.
21.
That's-
Not quite good enough, unfortunately.
I was gonna honestly.
You try and reach, and you start cruising.
I feel
off
like
the
it'd have to be
side,
like
and
24
Your hand
or
goes
better.
for it, but it's just a little bit out of your reach.
All right, it was worth the attempt,
far away are they from
especially
us at
Bo
this point?
having the
At this point, they're
acrobatics.
about 50
She
feet.
does.
50 feet?
That's going to be 13 points of piercing damage to your Moorbounder, which brings him to close to half health.
13 points of damage?
Correct. Just keep tabs on that.
All right.
And then that's going to be 7 to yours
Okay.
and 5 to yours.
Okay, good. Well, when that happens, I clap some bat guano and sulfur together in my hands and throw a fireball behind them by about 30 feet, 20 feet.
Dope.
So as they're going after their second arrow, they all get thrown forward
All right,
about 10
fireball.
feet. You see
Love it.
the tent just explode, as well as what looks to be another like half dozen or so orcs that were inside them about to get their armor on and ready.
Wilhelm
So they just get blown out from it. They're still barely. Go ahead and roll damage, actually. Roll damage on this. I want to know.
I'd be curious to see if they pursue after
Roll
that.
damage.
We booked past them. We weren't looking for trouble.
The base.
We were running past them. They fired on us, so we retaliated. You better just sit tight, orc marauders.
10, 14, 16, 19, 21, 26,
26
points of
damage.
26. Okay. You watch as about 4 of them just get thrown about 15 feet, not moving on the ground. But the rest of them are injured, but stand back up and watch you guys just coasting away. They kind of look at each other and realize they can't really.
Yeah, what are you
keep
gonna
up.
do?
But the one that was holding the horn gives another horn sound.
Is it just
Kind of
gonna?
like echoing down into the area.
Oh,
and you
God,
can
are
see
they
the
all
dust
over?
Gathering on the opposite side
Yeah,
of the
ridge.
cabin.
Oh my
the
God!
ridge.
I didn't
How
even
far
think of
away is
that.
that?
I'm thinking we just had to
That would be
bypass
from where you
a
are right now,
scout
about
party
120
or
feet.
something.
Okay.
Are they also
So
on
we are
mounts?
surrounded.
It looks like they are.
I'm gonna
You don't know
cast.
what kind.
Oh, this is trouble.
Also, would I have made a wisdom save?
In my head, I'm thinking it's just like a scout party. So we just gotta
You would.
have our moorbounders accelerate past them, maybe take a little damage.
flying
We're
colors.
riding into
6.
bad things.
Yes, yeah, you beat that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yasha jinxed us.
Vera.
We go veer. We veer left. Yasha's like, we're dead. That's it. We're dead.
Around in that whole group of
Obviously, it
orcs
was a
that are
joke,
getting
but it
up
might
and
not
out,
be so much
Yeah.
a joke
I'm
anymore.
gonna say, "Hello, bees." and I'm gonna cast Insect Plague on them.
You're gonna cast what?
Insect
So
plague.
as this massive,
We haven't seen
it's
that. I don't
you
think.
watch
Not by
as
Jester.
1,000 tiny little flashes of light, like a tiny sparkler goes off, and then just swarm of bees just start. And these orcs who are like
Swarms of bees are attacking the orcs.
being assaulted.
I mean,
by this
they'd be better off
cloud of
just leaving us
bees.
be after
They're
this. We just
completely
fireballed
negated.
them,
You guys
and
are too
now
fast for them to even consider catching up.
beautiful,
So
beautiful.
what's the range on that one?
300 feet.
300 feet.
300
Watch the ones that are
feet. We
riding
could
on
go to the top of the
wargs.
tree with that one.
Are the wargs all of a sudden start like flipping out and going side to side. They're gonna try and
We
hold
got
on.
wargs.
Attack the masters!
Attack your
It
masters. Oh my
obscures their
god.
vision too in the area. It's like
Powerful.
All right,
That is really powerful.
two of them manage to maintain holding on to their wargs. The others get thrown off onto the ground. Their wargs are now like trying to wipe their face and trying to get the bees out of their eyes, and you hear the shrieking in the distance. Their attempt to try and catch up
pretty
has
awesome.
been definitely set back quite a bit. There's still two more that
I
have pushed
love
out
when
of the
we learn
cloud
new
and are
things.
trying to
Like,
catch up to you.
there's
and as
things
the-
they
move
have I
forward-
don't know about, and I've never seen.
I'm gonna do a mass healing word with a bonus action at level 3 for.
And
all
every
of the
now and then
wargs
we
with-
learn
for
new
our-
stuff,
for
like
our
when he
battles.
learns
So
Dudamancy and stuff.
That's that's nice.
He's
All
that
of them
thoughtful.
gain 9 hit points back.
All right.
Great.
Absolutely have
9
more
hit
fire
points.
to throw too if they're in range, and I would.
Over there, they're about 100 feet now. They're starting to try and like cruise in towards you, the two that are still around.
50-foot range, so
Yeah.
yeah. So I will finish the job.
All right.
Oh,
So go ahead and
The
roll your
subtitle
damage for
said
your final.
50, but he said 150-foot range. So we're fireballing him to finish the job. Lots of dice. Lots of dice when he rolls that.
12,
He rolls like
finish the job.
7 dice.
23.
23. The explosion hits. You watch as both of the orcs get burned to shit, man, are still on the backs and still like pushing through. These are tougher than the standard fare orcs. The wargs themselves are extremely hurt, but still surviving. They're kind of like skip and tumble a bit. They manage to maintain. I'm gonna say, I'm just cocked. No, they're fleeing.
I mean,
The
all right,
orcs
they're
go
running
ahead and
away.
veer
There we
off
go.
to the
I was going to
side,
say, I'm
and
surprised if they would even
both
pursue.
war parties
If
seem
someone
to
threw
another
2
horn goes
fireballs
off,
at
it's a
you
different tone.
and had a swarm of bees, is that retreat? Yeah, retreat.
Akin to.
Yeah, we don't want this. You don't want that kind of trouble. You want somebody you can take down easily. You don't want to
another
lose
minute or so. You look
half
behind,
a
and there's
troop
no additional chase
for no reason.
following you.
Beautifully done.
defeat a
Beautifully
whole
done.
village
I got a
in,
little
like,
worried
30
there.
seconds?
You just did exactly.
Days to leave a tree.
It took us an hour and a half to deal with a tree, and we just destroyed an entire troop and city in 30 seconds.
On our more battle.
I mean, we didn't kill them all, but we got through it very quickly.
I think that would. Oh.
I mean, I healed it and it seemed to do the.
Yeah, these they didn't seem they had time to do any sort of poison-based tip on these yet.
Glorious.
Yeah, this is
Good
an initial
question, though.
assault. You
Good
guys
question.
kind of came up very quickly on them, and they weren't prepared for an ambush. They were just on this ridge before you just rode up and blew the shit out of them.
We only blew the shit out of them because they started shit.
Essentially.
We weren't looking for trouble. We were looking to run past. If you see a group of people coming at you,
interactions there
and their intentions are to run past you, let them run past
Of course
you.
they were. I didn't say it was positive encounters. It could have been all sorts of interesting things.
That was good.
That was fun.
Yeah,
it was
I dig
interesting.
it. That was
very,
great.
very Mad Max-ish.
Yes, very Mad Maxish.
So, pressing
just
forward.
run past
Caduceus
with
is you're on
authority.
point. Make another perception check for me, please.
Come on, baby.
Better than last time. It was embarrassing. That better. 19.
19.
right.
You do see the emerging shadow of the rock kind of coasting in your direction before it begins to arc. I want everyone to go ahead and try and carefully maneuver into a stealthy position. Probably
The
slowing your
rock
speed a
is
bit.
still around.
Yep.
I have to assume the sounds and noises we're making are alerting it.
That's what Trace is going.
Like, that thing has to have incredible hearing and sight.
Oh, man.
8.
18.
That's what that trace is
16.
gone.
Gone.
21.
10.
Hey,
18.
16.
Okay,
Laura-
wow, that's actually a good spread for you.
yeah, it was a good spread. Jester and Ford had the worst,
Okay.
but not like
You
incredibly
see
bad,
the
and
shape
everyone else
grow
was pretty
larger
solid.
and larger. The dark winged entity.
I think we'll be
And it
good.
just circles
Yeah, we're good.
off and continues doing a loop.
If anything, the
just off to
orcs
west
should worry.
side,
They're blowing
seemingly
horns.
Just barely missing the opportunity to make out your pack heading northward.
My God.
Follows us.
One or two more low rolls, we were caught. I'm surprised with all the smoke from the fireballs and the bees and the horn blowing, it didn't go after the orcs. Or at least attempt to.
The first true rival of campaign 2 has been decided. All right.
The rock
So-
is our greatest foe.
Moving
We can
forward,
defeat them. I don't know about that.
the
I
day
mean,
begins to come to an end.
I don't know.
The sun begins to set
That's a lot.
against the mountains in the distance. The water left from the rains seem to have mostly vanished into the earth. The mud begins to turn to dried ground, and night is coming. And you can see Bazozan in the distance, but you're not going to make it before the sun hits. You've taken a few breaks today.
The episode is
You've slowed a bit
called
of travel.
Beneath Bazozan.
So you could either
So,
break
my guess
for the
is
night somewhere.
we ain't
or
getting there, obviously,
press on
till
for an
the
additional
live
hour
stream.
of travel.
There's still 2.5 hour live stream.
I vote press.
I vote press. I vote press.
I vote
Everyone
if
agrees.
We, fight
We
something
go.
else, we are wiped the fuck out, and we will die probably.
Is
Maybe a
Jester
proper-
having
it's a real
logic
town,
behind
right?
it?
It's a town.
You don't know.
I have no idea. I don't know why
Jester,
I would know
who
that.
does the most
Domain.
chaoticness
I mean, does it
besides
look like a
possibly
town?
not,
It's hard to tell.
is
from
thinking
this distance.
logically.
It's another hour of
Let's
travel
push
full
on.
speed to get there.
The fact that
That's-
Jester doesn't want to
that's
push on
turbulent.
makes me think even
Yeah,
more we should push
I
on.
mean, we're just as likely to have something bad happen out here. I
Yeah.
suppose, as if we get
I
a little
think this,
further.
yeah,
I've got something in my
sitting
pocket
tight
just in
is
case.
only going to make us more targets. We
There you
push
go.
on,
What do
we
you think?
ride hard into the night, and we get to Bazozan.
I mean, of course, I would be fine with pressing on, but I know for some of you, that might not be wise.
Majority rules. I saw at least 5 pushes.
We've been riding that
Up
for a
now,
while.
Ford
No,
has
we have
changed.
to- We have
Yeah.
a mission that we have to complete.
Ford has been compromised by
What if we
Jester.
all die before we even get to complete that mission?
Is there
Ford.
anywhere around that looks like a good
Ford
place
was
to bed in for the
totally
night?
on board, and now all of a sudden Jester's
There's
like,
no,
"But let's stop," and
like-
Ford's like, "Okay, let's stop."
only an
I almost
hour.
feel like he's being
It's only an
swayed.
hour. Only an
Not
hour.
really. It's open fields here
Yeah.
until you get to the base of the
Go!
penumbra.
There's a giant bird and a lot. I've got a daylight spell just in case. I just say we
Drive, yeah, go.
personally.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Oh, now Ford's all about it
Are
again.
we still in the Badlands
Ford, you
or
are
the
too
Badlands?
easily
Like, you're
corrupted
You're in the
by
cusp of
people's
the
choices.
fields.
Okay.
We can also
Ford just switched opinions like 3 times in,
super stealthy and take
in
extra
20
time.
seconds.
You can take 2 hours and go stealthily if you'd like.
No, I say we ride hard into the night,
Okay.
no
I've got
fear, we
a little bit of
can
magic
conquer
left. Not a
all.
lot, but a little bit.
I also tell you guys all the time, I'm super aggressive in video games and I die 50% of the time, so
3 spells left.
I'm not probably right.
That's something.
But I'm
speed,
still
take an hour.
on
Slow
board with
speed, stealthy,
riding
take
hard
2
into the
hours.
night.
Full speed or not at all?
Full speed or not
Full
at all?
speed.
All right.
Full speed or not
Full
at
speed.
all.
Everybody
Exactly.
please take Constitution.
If we're not going to go full
Saving
speed,
throw,
I'd rather
please.
just take a rest.
Constitution.
Why
Yes.
slow ride it?
Pushing on the extra hour.
There we go. Full movement.
Don't fuck me go.
Don't fuck me go.
Saving. Is it a +1 on saving?
17.
16.
18.
Whoop, so far so good. Oh.
10. Okay. Jester, you're the one who takes a point of exhaustion.
Point of exhaustion.
Oh, I said I was tired.
How funny is that?
And
Jester was the one that wanted. I mean, hey,
travel, the
personally, it was probably better for
intensity
her.
of
But
the
we're talking
day's
group now.
Battles
Sorry for
and
the
being
exhaustion.
wary,
But we as
the
a group
shift in
need to
weather
push.
from extremely
We don't
damp
have
to extremely
time.
dry.
We're running out of time.
The winds
We
are starting
wasted
to
too
collect
much on the
as
trade.
you get closer to the city, and a bit of dust is starting to pick up with them. And you guys slowly begin to make your way.
What are we going to
towards
encounter?
Bazozan.
We're either going to end right here.
Now, as you approach the jagged mountain cliffs along the northernmost point of the Penumbra Range here, flanked to the south by the barren and broken badlands that you've just traversed, your eyes catch dark spots against the ruddy rock as the last bit of light begins to vanish.
What is about to kill us?
You see
or
sections of
attack
what looks
us?
to be a giant dark tower, a temple of Jet. woven into the cliffside, climbing
Temple
towards
of
the
Jet.
cloudy sky above, entering and emerging from the rock in multiple places, like it's been built in
Last Crusade.
and out of the mountain as
Tell
part
me
of its structure.
where the Holy Grail was.
As you draw even nearer, you can make out the spire-like
It's a real
towers
place.
that
I
emerge
forget what
from
it's
this
called.
temple. A series of smaller little crests that seem to emerge with their own little platforms and alcoves and balconies on them. It looks like someone took an elaborate stronghold and then merged it with a mountainside.
I can't remember the name of the place, but
Philadelphia
this sounds just like
experiment-wise,
that,
and
where
only
there's like
sections of it are
balconies
emerging from
and
the rock.
railings and an entire
You can see some
fixture
of them
set
appear to
in the
crumble,
mountain,
some
and
still
it's a
stand.
real place. It doesn't have the Holy Grail,
At
from
its
what
base,
I know. I think
you see
people would know that
what
by
you
now,
assume
but
is Bazzoxan. It is a series of scattered structures, a large village, not a city, but a village, constructed among ruins, similar to the ghost lands on the outside of Rosona, but much, 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 much smaller. You can see buildings that have, fallen and been toppled, but amongst them you see newer structures that are in construction or have been built.
So this is an old place.
You can see some that are partially erected with teams that are starting to finish their work for the day. You can see street corners that are marked with large iron watchtowers that are set on the perimeter of the village. You also begin to see, as you get closer still, the presence of Aurora Watch soldiers from the Dynasty.
The Dynasty.
In fact, most of the people you see here are armored. You don't see a lot of village folk.
What
You don't
is
see a lot
occurring
of
here?
civilians. Mostly a primarily military presence.
Are they
The
having
wind
a
picks up
base
little
of
stronger and
operations?
Dust begins to blow through.
I mean, it would make sense.
And at that point, you begin to see what looks to be a group of about 7 of these armored figures notice your arrival.
What is
And begin
their...
to walk in your direction.
Already pulling out. Go for it.
And that's what we'll take a break.
Already pulling
They're
out
walking
your-
that. Fireballs everywhere. Yeah, let's not do that yet.
Don't throw everything.
Yeah.
Back.
They're walking towards us. Maybe they just want to ask some questions, know what
We'll
we're up
return here in just a
to.
moment with the arrival to Bazzoxan and see what
We're
that
at
entails as you
Bazzoxan.
approach.
Spires of
We
jet,
actually
she
did
says,
make it to
like that.
Bazzoxan. See, I didn't know we were going to push
pitch
hard into the
black
night. I thought
stone
Matt was
just
going to
kind
end
of-
it right
it
there,
looks
whether we did or not. But
Somewhat
we made
polished in
it.
places, but the others are kind of scarred and pockmarked. It looks old. It's ancient.
Doesn't match the color of the stuff behind it. There's the ridge behind it.
No, the stone itself is more of like a
Not obsidian, but like
no. It's like a dull like maroon gray mixture. It's the same color as the spires of the various barbs along the fields, where most of the ground is like a deep, like
So
ruddy
the
red.
structures are made of the
clay
same kind
earth.
of material.
The
The
spires themselves are more of a
spires
deep gray.
were-
It's making my spider sense tingle. Okay.
Spider sense tingling.
A spider sense.
Your spires.
Spire sense tingling. That's really good.
Giveaway for the break.
Spire sense tingling. That's my favorite. I love some of the plays on words they use. Oh, we got Purple Heart, my favorite again.
Give this away to one lucky winner. To enter, go ahead and in our Twitch chat
want it.
here, enter the word Del.
I got it. I keep saying I'm
DELVE.
going to get one. I swoon over it and then I forget
We have-
every time.
Well, only once. More than once, you'll be disqualified. We'll have one winner in return. Of course, for U.S. and Canada, excluding Quebec. We'll see you guys.
At
in a
some
minute.
point, does Quebec get to vote?
90 minutes.
All right, guys, that's it for Mighty Nine time for the YouTube video. I just said it at the end there, but is there ever a time, and I think I've asked this 100 times, but I can't remember, or I don't know if anybody's ever answered it. Is there ever a time that Quebec is allowed to enter these drawings? Because it has been going on now. For a year and a half, we've been watching these, at least the older episodes. And it's 2021, I believe, right now, currently in this video. Maybe 2022, but it's at least 2 to 3 years ago. I'm just curious if at this point they have made it so, but it's obviously not their choice. Either way, that is not relevant in the entire story. The way this started was we were in Lehman's tiny hut. We healed up a little bit. We re-got our spells. We sat tight, and then we pushed on. We had Frumpkin go out. We could see the rock in the distance, anywhere from 10 to 60 miles. Clearly very horrifying and gigantic. Get to a point where we had to make a choice, like a choose your own adventure. We go left, and there are orc marauders. I thought we were going to be in some serious trouble, but then we're like, let's just run past him. I would have done the same thing. No sense in stopping. We're already short on time. We want to get the hell to where we're going. We already wasted so much time with the tree. I wouldn't say wasted. Ring of protection, a lot of gold, necklaces, rings of other sorts, gold robes. That sounded like I said gold robes, but I mean gold rings and robes. So it wasn't a waste of time, but we did use up a lot of time that we probably don't have a whole lot of at this point. I think we got like a day or two left. We were supposed to do a 5-day long trip or a 3-day short trip through the barbed fields. We were up to like, I feel like 3.5 days at the point of the tree. Even though we are still under the 5 days, we're approaching what would have been the original 5 days. We got a much more fun time. We got more things. We also found out a lot about the barbed fields. Now we finally get to Bazzoxan. We agree to push through the night. Jester did sustain a point of exhaustion. She was the biggest advocate to rest, obviously, because that's why she got a point of exhaustion. But it's worth it to me to not have to waste time. Plus, Tal'dorei made a good point. Caduceus is saying, if we rest, we have just as likely, if not more of a chance of getting attacked, because now people can like scout us and get the jump on us. We're at a disadvantage. Let's power through the night, full speed ahead. Saw the orcs. The orc marauders come around. They blow the horn. We fireball them. We send the bees. They stop. The rock almost caught us again. The rock's flying overhead. Missed us by a short margin, and we flew to Bazzoxan. So now we're there. Reminds me a hell of a lot of, you guys would probably know in the chat, or maybe you'll look it up and know in the comments. I'm going to actually look it up after this. But there is a place in Indiana Jones: The Last Crusade where they go to get the Holy Grail. And it is a real location, but it is a giant structure built into a mountain. And you could go in and it's like old as shit. And that's where they filmed Last Crusade, and that's where they go to get the Holy Grail. That is what it reminded me of. We now have this giant structure built into the mountain, Bazzoxan. There's other structures being built. All we're seeing is armored soldiers of the dynasty, and 7 of them are about to approach us. They didn't yet seem aggressive, but Matt didn't really give us a whole lot of information. He's just like, it looks like everyone's armored up. We're in Bazzoxan. There are structures being built. The same material the structures are being built of is... See, that's the only thing. I feel like he said the ones being built, the newer ones, are the same material as the spires. And then Tal'dorei, he said spider sense tingling, and then somebody else said spire sense tingling. Great play on words. There's a lot of things going through my head. My spire sense is tingling as well. So let's just find out in the live stream. There's going to be a 2-hour and 35-minute live stream, plus the talking and exits and goodbyes, and we're probably likely to hit 50 likes. I said it before. The fact that we hit almost 50 likes, or sometimes hit 50 likes in an hour and 20 minutes, I have to assume that in double that, we're going to easily hit 50 likes. So I'm preparing for close to a 4-hour live stream this coming Friday. All of you, like, subscribe, and we'll get there. You want to see more of what I do? In the description of every video is a link for Patreon. You'll see the Patreon hour exclusive for every episode of Campaign 2. This weekend, into Tuesday, will be the final episodes of the entire series for Barry and Ted Lasso. So if you're into those, check it out. Phenomenal shows. I'm sad to see them go. And then next week, Always Sunny in Philadelphia starts. Also, Gremlins Secret of the Mogwais is being done 2 episodes a week on Sundays. The first 2 are already on Patreon. One's edited up for YouTube. If you want to check it out for free, go check YouTube. I think it is a breath of fresh air, and I was very much on board with it. So check it out. Link in the description. If not, comments down below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.